Hey, what's up? It's Greg coming to you again from poolside. It's summer, so why not? Why not do these updates from outside? It's so nice out here. As you can see, we're poolside again. What I wanted to talk to you about in this video is Exxon reported today their second quarter earnings, and it was a complete blowout. Okay, I've been predicting on this channel for a long time that this second quarter was going to be obscene in terms of profits, and that's exactly what happened. Okay, so if you get value out of this video, please like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell so you can be notified when I come out with additional videos. Okay, for those of you who are new to the channel, I have been following Exxon Mobil for a long time. I originally recommended it back in October, at the end of October 2020, when the stock was selling at 33. It's now around 58, 59, and at the time I recommended it, it was a 10.4 dividend yield. It's now a 6% dividend yield because the stock almost doubled. Okay, so with that as the background, let's talk about what Exxon did in the second quarter. It was a blowout and they beat consensus. They clocked in a net income of $4.69 billion in the quarter. That's quite a number. And they generated $1.10 a share versus consensus of $1.01. So they significantly beat analysts' consensus projections, and that is compared to a loss in the equivalent second quarter of last year of $1.08. So they lost $1.08 a share. This year they made $1.10. That is one of the most incredible corporate turnarounds it's got to be in corporate history. I don't know, somebody check me on that, give me comments below if that's wrong, but this has got to be up there, at least in the top 10 fantastic corporate turnarounds in all of American history. Revenues grew 108% to 67 billion, over 67 billion versus 64 billion consensus. So they significantly beat also on the revenue. Production fell 2%, so of course some analysts view that as a negative, but that was due to the reduction in capex and money that they had to spend on maintenance, etc. So I don't view that as anything significant. In spite of that, they produced 3.6 million barrels per day in the quarter. 3.6 million barrels per day. Okay, that's insane. Cash flow was 9.7 million, I'm sorry, that must be billion. Yeah, 9.7 billion, and that fully funded the dividend. Okay, and if you recall, going back to last year, they had to borrow to cover the dividend, and they reduced capex significantly so they could continue to pay the dividend. And at that point in time, most Wall Street analysts were saying that they were going to have to cut the dividend. That was when I recommended it, and I proved through my analysis that I did not think that was the case, because they had plenty of borrowing power on their balance sheet, and they also had incredible flexibility to cut capex, which is exactly what they did. Okay, now I'm predicting right now that I think that if things continue to go the way they are, which I think they will, you can look forward to them increasing the dividend perhaps as soon as the end of this year. Okay. So where do we go from here? Okay, it's been a remarkable turnaround. It's one of my largest holdings, and I continue to be extremely bullish on the energy sector in general. And my two recommendations, biggest recommendations in the integrated oil company sector, which is Exxon and also Chevron. Okay, and Chevron has done equally well, and I think I'll do an update on this channel on Chevron to go into depth on that. But one thing I wanted to talk about on this video that I think going forward is something to really keep an eye on, because you know, all of us as stock investors, we tend to, it's just human nature, focus on the short term. And I think that it's very important for you to understand, if you are thinking about going into Exxon, or if you're a current stockholder, that you should really focus on, and I'm going to do a complete video on this, is the Guyana discovery. Okay, now this has been in the news for some time. The Guyana project is a JV between Exxon, Hess, and China's CNOOC. Exxon is the leader of that. But what it is basically is a 6.6 million acre Starbrook block. And specifically, most recently, they had a discovery called the Longtail-1 discovery. And the important thing about this for the future of Exxon is that this discovery could be as much as 9 billion barrels of oil. Okay, and the thing that I focused on with this is, not only is it a massive discovery, and probably one of the most significant and important discoveries in the last 10 years in the world, but the marginal cost of getting that oil out of the ground, and they're basically drilling in the ocean, right, off the coast of Guyana. The marginal cost of getting that out of the ground can enable Exxon to make a profit on that oil as low as $20 a barrel. I mean, this is an absolutely amazing statistic, and one that bodes very, very well for Exxon's future, and the future of not only their earnings and the stock price, but also the dividend yield. Now, when I originally recommended this, I said that because of the dividend yield, it's a great place to put it into a tax advantage fund, like a rollover IRA or some kind of self-directed IRA. That's where I have my holding. So what I'm doing is I'm putting it into a DRIP program. The DRIP program, every time I get the dividend, it reinvests it in more stock, so that I'm getting an accumulating effect that is multiplying on itself, and creating a compounding effect, which over the life of the investment is going to create an insane internal rate of return, where I have the capital appreciation in the stock plus the compounding effect of the dividend. And I did an entire video on the compounding effect, which I'll put in the description below, so you can look at that. Particularly when you do this in a tax-advantaged fund, you can get the full advantage of the compounding effects tax-free. Okay, so this is what I wanted to talk to you about today. I am still long-term bullish on this stock. I am long-term bullish on the energy industry. Oil and gas is not going away. Don't listen to the politicians. AOC does not know what she's talking about. Green energy will grow over time as a percentage of energy production, but as of now, with the current technologies that we have, it will never be baseload capacity because of the low reliability factor of wind and solar. I've talked about this extensively on the channel. Oil and gas is here to stay, and it will continue to be a major source of energy for the United States and for the entire world. Okay, so stay tuned to this channel for more updates on Exxon and the energy business, as well as other stocks like Moderna that I've recommended. And we're going to be coming forward with some more great content for you on investing. And the purpose of this channel is to make you a better, smarter, and richer investor. And please subscribe so you can be on board for future presentations, which will be coming your way very soon.